This is a story of thief, which cannot take free breath from 6 years. One, not two. This is a stolen of 290 caras and $3.5 billion. Who a call drowns a thief, and he hides the money in a small Cheetos container, and also why the real owner of money turns his face from claiming the money. At 13th of September 2019, the boy, which name is Jimmy Zhong, do an emergency call on 911. This phone call stuck him in a big difficulty. Jimmy Zhong is a resident of U.S. state Georgia's small city Athens. He had a case report to police. He had called a police officer. He had said that he had stolen $400,000. He had a shocked-to-listen huge amount of theft. Jimmy had installed a good CCTV security system on his home, and he also had a CCTV footage of thief entering in his home that had his face covered. Jimmy Zhong was graduating from Georgia University, and he was known as Party Boy in his friends. He had spent $5,000 in a single party. He would go to a bar and give all the people's free drinks. Of this is just that Jimmy has so much money, which he was not able to manage. Even he also goes for watch his favorite football team match with his friends in a rented private jet. When the police were not able to find the thief, which once stolen $400,000 from his house, he hired a private detective. She's name was Martinelli, because Jimmy's lifestyle and friend circle, it was as if this was a friend of his. This is why Martinelli had a good view of his case. He had a good view of his private life, as well as his social media accounts and his bank accounts transactions. This private detective was also worried that at this age, Jimmy's source of income is what? Jimmy said to everyone that he is a Bitcoin trader and a crypto investor. In the last few years, he has been trading the Bitcoin in the increasing prices. He has been trading and everyone believed in it. Martinelli said that in video footage of the boy who is entering his house, he knew that Jimmy is not at home and he wanted to do his work. This shows that he is definitely a close friend of Jimmy. It was not the first time that Athens police had a connection with Jimmy for the first time. Some years ago, he was caught in a cocaine in a case, and since then, Jimmy had a very good behavior. Often, Athens police used his CCTV camera to investigate other cases, but this time, call 911. This is where the call, Jimmy has been a highlight. At the same time, the regional cybercrime unit also found that Jimmy Zhong has been stolen from a $400,000. He had a doubt that Jimmy has a Bitcoin trader. He was wondering if Jimmy has a Bitcoin trader, but how much money does he have? This regional cybercrime unit has been investigating the past 7 years. Silk Road crypto heist case for 7 years. But for so long, they had not got a hint. Silk Road was an online exchange where all the wrong things were done. Weapons, drugs, and all illegal things were traded here, and its transaction was done in bitcoins. In 2012, this exchange was hacked, and someone has stolen a total of 51,680 bitcoins. But because it was an illegal dark website, no one reported this theft. Next year, the owner of Silk Road was caught, and the FBI had to shut down all. FBI was found 17,000 bitcoins, but 51,680 bitcoins are still missing, which actually a hacker had stolen. FBI was thinking that maybe this Silk Road's owner has transferred it to another account, and now he's lying to us. Bitcoin's different accounts transactions are completely transparent. Anyone can see them, but only the owner of the account doesn't know. The regional cybercrime unit was wondering if Jimmy Zhong had stolen the Bitcoin from Silk Road. For this work, first of all, need to know the Jimmy's Bitcoin address. Athens Police and Regional Cybercrime, both unit together, set a meeting with Jimmy. Because police already were investigating her $400,000 case, so this meeting was very normal for Jimmy. 3 plainclothes officers were with a body cam enter in Jimmy's house. They had to make Jimmy believe that he was not the one, but that he had $4,000 in the investigation case. During the conversation, he had to ask Jimmy about his source of income. He had a quick visit to his room, where he had 2 Bitcoin miners set in his cupboard. They had a blockchain expert in the team. He immediately took a deep dive. He immediately made a note that 2.4 Bitcoin mining machines can't make that much money, as much as Jimmy spends. During the same time, an officer accessed Jimmy's laptop and copied its Bitcoin address. This was Jimmy's. This Bitcoin address may have a small amount, but its transaction history link, many years ago, was matching with the Silk Road's account. This has been proven that Jimmy has a connection with Silver Road. He had a call with Jimmy, and he had a meeting with Jimmy. He had a took search warrant against him. When Jimmy got to know, his face was in the light. Officers started to look for his house, and they knocked on each tile and checked if Jimmy had a secret storage box. At the end, he saw a Cheetos container, which had a small towel. When he looked at the towel piece, he was in doubt, so he took it out. Under the towel piece, there was a little computer chip. It was a crypto hard wallet, which still had 51,000 bitcoins. In 2024, their value was $3.5 billion. Jimmy Zhong had now been badly trapped. In order to catch his $400,000 theft, he had to lose $51,000 bitcoins. Jimmy had told officers that to fulfill his drugs habits, he would go to the Silk Road Exchange and buy drugs. In 2012, when he was withdrawing his bitcoins, he had to find a loophole in the website. Jimmy had the same blockchain as a good knowledge. He used that loophole and started withdrawing the bitcoins from the rest of the website's users' bitcoins. When he had 51,280 bitcoins, the owner of Silk Road was found. At that time, as a value, this amount was $600,000. The owner of Silk Road was aware but he had not done report to police. That's why he sends a private message to Jimmy and asked about the loophole which he found on the website. He told him about loophole, in which he had stolen the bitcoins, and then the owner of Silk Road forgive the bitcoins to Jimmy. Athens Police, FBI, and Regional Cybercrime Unit have solved the case after several years ago. In 2023, Jimmy Zhong have punished 1 year and 1 day. In the case of wire fraud, this is considered the US history of the largest Bitcoin heist. If Jimmy had not called 911 that day, he would have been traveling around with his Bitcoin. FBI has seized 51,000 Bitcoins and published a notice to the real owner's name, that those who had the victim of 2012 Silk Road crypto heist scam, they came and claimed their Bitcoins. But the surprise was that no one was coming in. Because coming in means that he had a Silk Road on his account, and the Silk Road on his account meant that he was involved in some criminal activity. Thanks for watching video. If you liked the video, kindly do like, subscribe, and share.